Hello, my name is Poncella and welcome to my channel. This is the last episode of Queen Sugar for season 6, 2021. We have been following the journey of 3 siblings who live in Louisiana, who inherited the 800-acre farm that their daddy cultivated and was able to keep in their family for many years. And of course, they're on the verge of losing all of this land, starting with Vi and Hollywood. Hollywood has devised some kind of plan, and that plan is going to include getting Theo, Ralph Angel's prison friend, to confess that he set up Ralph Angel. So he kisses Vi and he is on his way. Of course, Vi got him some snacks and said, make sure you come back home like you left. And he said, oh yeah, I'll be back. And Nova, Ralph Angel, and Charlie are discussing what they could possibly do if their land, which was left by their dad to all of them, but really inherited by Ralph Angel, if it could be considered a historic landmark, then there's no way that Sam Landry is going to want the land, because being a historic landmark, he won't be able to do anything with that land. So it will be 800 acres of land where he couldn't do anything, and they're hoping and praying that it works in their favor, that they're able to keep their family farm that the dad worked so hard for. Now, Blue and Ava are cleaning the house as they're preparing to have to leave because of the deal that Ralph Angel made with Landry so that he could stay out of jail. So Blue tells his Ava, I have thought a name for the baby. And she's like, well, what is it? And of all things, he came up with Gertrude. Child, that is an old person's name. But sometimes people do reach back. But anyway, Dominique arrives, and of course, Nova is glad to see him, and she's wondering, where have you been? And he's like, I've been to Baton Rouge. And Baton Rouge, what did you do there? And he's going to present her with paperwork that has been approved to have the farm declared a historical landmark. Now, it's peculiar how this worked out so fast, when other times in the series they move very slowly. But I think this is moving fast because next summer is going to be the last season. But you didn't hear that from me. But anyway, so Hollywood has made it to his destination, and he's playing a role with these guys. And so they're like, well, pay up. We want the money. And he's like, you're going to get your money. So he confronts the guy who seems like he's the leader of the pack. And he's want to know, I need to know, where's Theo? And he tells him, he acts dumb at first. And he's like, you don't want me to beat you, because I will beat your ASS. So the guy decides to, sing like a bird. And the next thing we see is Charlie and Vi are discussing, are happy that the land has been declared a historical landmark for the family farm. So Vi is just, everybody's just waiting for all the pieces of the puzzle to fit. So everything has to work out, and they have to do it quickly but efficiently. Now, Billy has some flowers that she's presenting to her dad, and she wants him to know that he's an important person in her life. And now that she's there, she's thinking, I've left what I had in Chicago, but I was basically an empty nester. And even though I was in a relationship, it just was somebody who was really nice and always treated me right. But I guess she doesn't feel love or in love for that person. So she knows she has to make a difficult decision to leave that relationship. Now, Michael's in his dorm room. A knock is at the door. He says, come in, and it's Isaiah, who thanks him for the food that he brought to him. Because remember last week, he put a bag on his doorstep on the handle of the door in his dorm, and told him to call him. So he tells Micah that he doesn't have to defend himself because society doesn't understand men being friends, but he's glad that he's his friend. And Micah says that, yeah, I am glad that we are friends as well. So much so that he decides to give him a portrait. Now, I couldn't tell if that was actually a painting. I think it's a painting, not one of his camera shots. Well, Darla is overjoyed because they too have heard the news of the farm being declared a historical landmark. And Rev Angel is reflecting on, I came so close to losing my daddy's farm. Thank God that this was found. I'm sorry we had to find those bones on the land, but when they did more research, they could go ahead and file it for a historic landmark. Now, Cardell is holding out on the, what is it called? The co-op. And they want to get him because right now they have 11 farmers. There's 21. And Rev Angel's like, if we can get Cardell to, sign over his settlement and the other guys will follow, then they feel like they have a good shot of taking a development by the mall away from Sam Landry and, of course, his family. So they both are talking to Cardell, Darla, and Rev Angel. But he seems to be leaning toward what Darla is saying. And he's like, it sounds very good. I want my kids to have a better life. So he decides to chip in his check so they have a stronger bond when they go to get that land. Now, Billy is looking at her dad, and he's wondering, how did your conversation go? I can't remember if the guy's name was Vince or Vincent, but she tells him it didn't go too well, Daddy. And she said, I feel like I've always wanted love. I definitely wanted the love relationship that you and Mama had, but I don't think it was in the cards for me. Now, Hollywood is trying to get more information from this bartender. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this is the same person who is a transgender, born a woman, but changed into a male actor. But I think I'm right. But anywho, he's having a good time pouring shots for Hollywood, who is looking for Theo, whom he calls his brother. And at first the bartender was looking like, you don't know what your brother is? Now, Isaiah and Micah go for a walk. And I really thought they were going to write this where they would end up being in a same-sex relationship. Micah's nervous to talk to Isaiah to let him know how he really feels. But Isaiah has a way of, with words, that he calms Micah down. So Micah asks him to have a seat on the bench, which they do. And, he is like, I really value your friendship and I do have feelings for you. I don't know how to describe it, but I do know it's not a strong, it's more of an emotional. It's not anything physical because I don't want to be with you physically. And Isaiah's kind of like, that's your loss. And they laughed it up. But he's like, you know, society makes frowns upon us men having affectionate relationships with one another, even if it's not romantic. Unlike women, women can be friends and have a close bond with another girl and not be physical. So Michael's glad he got that off his chest. I don't know where. I guess they went out to dinner where Nova and Dominique are coming from. But of course, or can tell there is chemistry between these two. So it is confessed that Dominique feels for Nova like she feels for him. And he apologized that he wanted to take his time if they are going to have a relationship. And Nova tells him that she's been hurt very deeply. And he said that he doesn't want to hurt her, that he does want to pursue a relationship. So, of course, they embrace. And she's probably really thankful that he is a smart man and was able to get the paperwork done for them for the landmark. Now, Charlie finds herself in a long distance relationship with Davis, and they're having one of their heart to heart talks. And she's like, this is really hard, and maybe she's thinking it's getting old as well, but they are trying to make the best of what they have in a long distance relationship. But she says, I'm tired. And he tells her to look out the window. And to her surprise, he's there. He told her he had a layover for a few hours. So he wanted to make the most of that time, spending it with her. So he has a picnic ready for her. And she's just amazed at how much effort he is now putting into their relationship. And he's like, I have a lot of good stuff down here. So she makes her way down and joins him on the lawn on the, I guess it was a blanket. But she's telling him that, oh, I love this cake. It is so good. But I really am tired because I try to be the person that everybody wants me to be. But I really need to take care of myself and look at my needs and what I should do. So at this point, I'm thinking Charlie's going to go ahead and say, I was trying to make this long distance relationship work, Davis, but I can't do it. But it turns out I'm not the writer of this drama. She is confessing that I do love you and I do accept your marriage proposal, and I want us to have our next picnic at our home on the beach. And so they're both happy. They're tearing up, and Davis is like, oh, I've prayed for this. Oh, I've prayed for this. That she would come around and realize that she needs him in her life just like he needs her. And the second time around is going to be much better than the first time around because they're now older and wiser. Now, Ralph Angel calls Prosper to let him know that Cardell has come over and joined the co-op, and that is also going to be bringing the other remaining 11 farmers, 10 farmers I should say, because I think again it's a total of 21 they already had 11 on board. And he said he was thankful because Mr. Prosper was the first one that decided he wanted to be a part of the co-op. And he also thanked Billy because Billy is working with the lawyers in Chicago that are spearheading the campaign for the farmers to take over the land or to inquire or purchase the land that Landry is looking to get. And Darla is calling Ref Angel and she's letting him know that her water has burst and he needs to call the doula. Well, they make the call, but the doula tells both of them that it doesn't have enough time from the contractions. They won't be able to make it. Now, at the diner, we have Vi and Charlie because Charlie asked Vi to have Sam Landry come there so they can talk to him. Well, he doesn't show up. Instead, he sends his daughter, Parker, to be there to meet. And they're like, "Where's your dad? We were looking for Sam, and what are you doing here, Parker?" And in that rough, husky voice of hers, she is like, "I don't have time for games. Why am I here?" And they let her know that you guys may want to second think, a double think, taking our land because we have something that's going to keep you from doing any kind of development on that land. And here is the paperwork. And she's like, "Is this for real?" And they're like, "Yep, it is. It's something how you can get something move so quickly when they can actually agree that those human bones that were found were from 1887, and now we are able to reclaim our land, and we want you guys to let Ref Angel have the farm again." And she's like, "Oh, no, 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 no. He is not going to get it. We have until the end of the week, tell Ref Angel to get ready to let that land go." And as they are getting a heads up, well, look who's coming in the door. It's going to be Hollywood and Theo. And of course, we have to assume that Hollywood beat up Theo because his face is all abused. And he decided, I guess, "I'm tired of this. It's not worth it. I thought the money was good, but my life is getting in danger lying for this white man." So when they arrive, he has to tell Parker, who's shocked to see him, that, "I'm not playing this game anymore. You guys, I'm done. I want to confess and tell the truth that we set up Ref Angel." And it's kind of like, "You don't know what you're saying. Be quiet." And it's like, "No, I won't be quiet. You're not going to tell me what to do anymore, Parker. You nor your dad. Did you see the scars on my face? This man has beat my butt. And Rev Angel is my friend. And, lost sight of what was right. But I'm going to do what's right now. And right now it is to tell the truth. And wherever consequences come from it, so be it." And she's looking like, "How dare you be so dumb?" But she doesn't have a leg to stand on. So she has to leave. And then, of course, she's going to have to report to her dad that what they thought they had, they don't have. So that's that with her. And I just don't understand how she, as a black woman, would want to do the dirty work of her white dad. But anyway, she is, or they are done. The Landrys are finally getting a taste of their own medicine. Well, Darla is having contractions. Po Blue doesn't know what to do, and the doula is on the phone saying that she's going to talk Ralph Angel and Darla through this. And Darla is, oh, ah, ah, ah. She's in pain. And here comes Prosper and Billy. They came as quickly as they could. So Ralph Angel asks Prosper to take Blue. So Blue leaves the room. So it just leaves the parents, Ralph Angel and Darla, to go through the contractions together. And she has the comfort of her husband in her arms as she is trying her best to make it through this. And she's realizing that, the baby is coming. Our little girl is about to make her arrival into this world. And the series ends as they pan the house from the outside. And I thank you for listening and watching. And until, I guess, next season, take care.